Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I know we didn't have coffee here, but okay, this is a lot better. I am Linda Felix Johnson, and I was charged to be the moderator here today on this most important month. I know we normally celebrate Women's Month, and for a lot of individuals, they tend to forget after that month that we are still women and there are still issues that we need to address. And over this month, I've been talking to several different, in several different forums, and I've been telling and imploring individuals not to only celebrate Women's Month, but to celebrate women every day. And let's continue to fight every day for the causes that impede women in their progress. And to assist young women and in-between women, because I don't like to say old, so it's the young and the tween women, to continue to find your purpose, explore what your passions are, and never to let anyone tell you that your dreams are not attainable. Now I will introduce a few of our speakers. Dr. Tankapan will be our first speaker today. The format this will take, the speakers will speak for I think about 5 minutes, and we will have a Q&A. I will take the questions, and we will have maybe about 2 or 3 people because we're working with timing here. And so I hope you will cooperate with us. And I'm so interested in getting into this conversation. I forgot to tell you a little bit about what I do. I always do that because what I do is not as important as the people I help. And so, but within this forum here, I think it's important that we know what each other does, and that will create a synergy where we could network and help each other, because I always say there is enough for all of us to participate. There is a global issue that we are addressing, and there is never too much organizations being a part of it. And so I am a psychologist. I am also the president of an organization I founded called Women of Mission International. And the organization was founded to empower women and girls through education and social engagement. We find jobs for young women. We give out scholarships to students who, mainly women, but we have since added men to the conversation, because what we found is that when we address women's issues and we don't include the men, then we might be creating more issues in that situation, relationship, or whatever, because the men are going to see their women now empowered and they're not understanding what's happening. So we have added men to our conversation, where we will assist them to understand the changes that they're now seeing in their women folk. And we also are including young men, because we want them to grow up to be the men that will respect and honor women. And in a nutshell, that's what I do. And as we go along, we will be discussing some of the things and how we could help each other. It's not about you helping me. It's about us working together to help the individuals that are suffering, the individuals both here and worldwide, because I was heartened to hear that we have people from different parts of the world here. And before you leave, we have a sign-in sheet going around, and we will share that with everyone in the room, because it's important that we get together. I will now give the mic to Dr. Tankapan, who is the founder and the CEO of World Yoga Community, Inc.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
You know the meaning of namaste?
No.
That I bow down to the divinity which you have and I have. We are the same. I'm so glad and honored to be here with my divine and chosen sisters and brothers from the world.
Yes.
Welcome to New York. So I want to thank and congratulate Dr. Monica. So she's my spiritual sister for a long time at the UN and other events. I love people when they work for the community. I grew up in a family. Father is an Orthodox Christian, mother is a Hindu Buddhist. 60 years back when they married, both kicked out family because they are against the culture. But I am so proud of them because I born from them. I am able to travel around the world, met over 5 million people, and made them as my family.
Yes, yes.
Last few weeks I said in different meetings, empowering women and children, educating men is not simple work. It's very hard because we came from certain stamped culture. We have to update our outdated philosophies. Whatever happened in the past, fine. But in 21st century, we are more educated. Be open. Be spiritual being more than a religious being.
That's right.
When you go to the deeper philosophy of religion, you understand how to love each other, how to care each other. I want you to repeat this verse. Begin the day with love.
Begin the day with love.
Spend the day with love.
Spend the day with love.
Fill the day with love.
Fill the day with love.
End the day with love.
End the day with love.
That is the way to God. Is that good?
Yes.
When you look at mothers, I cannot express myself about a mother. Very hard, the deep connection with my mother. She was very dark, my dad was very light. I became a brownie. I'm proud of it. But they were educated. Parents gave them education more than money. They know how to take care of people, how to take care of children, take care of the nature, planting all the vegetables at home, flowers, whatever we need, that's how we grow up. Never abuse the nature. When you go to the Eastern culture or African culture, you see they are connected with earth and the nature. When we go away from it, we lose our energy. We have prana, means energy, divine energy from the universe to us. We made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, what else?
Wind.
Air and space. We all are made of these 5 elements. We are equal. We may be unequal by look, by education, or the size, or color, that's fine. This is the thing I learned from my spiritual journey. I used to travel in different areas in India, met great saints, live in the cave to experience myself. End up in New York City on the concrete lab. I said I have a duty to do something here. In 2007, I left New York. One of the saints from New York came to India. He was 123 years old. He said, no, you had to come back. You have some work to do. I said, I'm ready. I'm saying my mother taught me to how to respect ladies from the childhood. We have 3 children in the family, my brother, my sister and me. We do all the work equally. There's no separation. You should cook, you should wash. No, we all do the work. Mother educated her students, she was a teacher, same way. So when we teach our children from childhood and we show how we teach and preach and practice, they will learn. A smile can change the world. I believe a smile can change the world. When you walk on the street of the New York, people are so uptight.
Yes.
So I just go and smile. And say, what happened to this guy? We had to smile. We had to dance. We had to sing. These are the divine natural quality of a human being.
Yes.
We are divine.
Yes.
What is it? Divine. Whatever, wherever you are from, doesn't matter. We have 2 legs, 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears
Yes.
for a purpose. There's a purpose. We are here to serve people. In this room, in this holy building, we have more responsibility than the people outside this building. That's the purpose we all are sitting here. We are here to help each other, communicate each other. Invite us to your countries, come to our countries. Interact, international integration.
Yes.
This is the way we open up our ideologies. We care. If you have a technology, if I discover a technology, I want to share with the people. That is International Day of Yoga. Last 25 years, I was working for it. It happened at the UN because of this openness. Hindu group said, no, we had to have a day as a Hindu celebration. I said, no. Yoga for everybody. It should be Christian should be there, Muslim should be there, everybody should be there. So, empowering women, number 1.
Yes.
Reason, they can give birth. 10 months, my mother carried me. My father didn't carry. What mother think, what she eat, that is coming to me.
That's right.
Right? So we had to care about the pregnant ladies with good food, treat them nicely, make them happy. In Ayurveda, very clearly mentioned, that is 10,000 years before they already written in what to eat, what to think, where they're supposed to be. That will affect the child. And give a natural birth. We can have, if any crisis, go to the hospital. Otherwise, no. Now, birth is a business. Food is a business. Education is a business. Everything business. What is humanity? We are losing. Should we need humanity or we need a currency? We are going away from the reality. So we had to restructure ourselves
Yes.
only through education. From childhood, we had to teach them values, moralities, culture, love each other, play around. This is the way. I'm so happy about my parents. They didn't give any money, but they gave me health,
Amen.
mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, nothing else. I have a lot of students. Parents separate, father separate, mother go there. They don't know what is the meaning of love. They cannot understand. I cannot blame them because they need my help. So I take them with me wherever I go, teach them, and also very hard, not simple. So I want to conclude. Thank you everyone. Be together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tankapan. And do we have any questions for the doctor?
Yes. My question was, how do you build confidence with the young generation and the older generation, spiritually and morally? Because our generation today is so disconnected with what's going on in the world. They're so wrapped up in yeah,
Children cannot have a cell phone.
right.
They should stop it. Interact with the parents.
Yeah.
Interact with the friends. Be with the elders. Learn from them.
Right on.
That will change.
That's the only way.
Thank you. And our next speaker is Dr. Amina Ali. She is a special envoy to the UN Women Gambia 2019 representative for the International Model United Nations Association. She is a proud Gulf War veteran and ambassador for International Human Rights Commission, and she is going to be speaking on CSW 63 and the power of voicing our dreams. Let's welcome Dr. Ali.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am excited. It is the last day, but that just means we have to party tonight, yes? So I wanted to come to you today. I'm going to be brief, and although we have a lot of humanitarian talks that we give almost daily, I like intimate gatherings. It allows it to be a little bit more personable, and it allows us to be able to network and commune efficiently. But as I always do, before I begin anything, I have to begin in prayer. Because there are so many different faiths and recognitions that are too numerous to name, I normally do what we call a spiritual word of recognition. And that means just that. There will be no terms, there will be no specific titles that are given, so that all will be inclusive in the intention of the petition of prayer. So let us bow our heads as we are willing and able. Let us focus on the right now. Let us take a few seconds to meditate on the current condition of this moment. To open thought, solutions, and answers to what causes us to question what is happening. Staying stagnant is not a solution, but desiring better begins the process. The pain is real, the suffering is optional. So let's focus our time in the right now moment just to say thank you. Amen. Okay, so we are here at CSW 63. That means there were 62 other attempts before it, but this one is going to be the best. So today we're going to open up with some of the things that we do in the UN, as well as those that are not familiar with UN Women, and specifically UN Women Gambia. Of course, that is a West African country that is probably like a little sliver. If you ever look at Senegal and you blink, you'll miss it. But it is a very, very intentional landmass that is right in the southern area of Senegal, and it is filled with beautiful people, great food, and even better energy. And I bring you greetings from that land, and I pray that something that you say today will help you to better understand what the Gambia is and better ways to help the women there especially. We have 4 seeds of the humanitarian conversation. I'll say that again. There are 4 seeds, S-E-E-D-S, to the humanitarian conversation. And those seeds are rooted in soil. Soil stands for strengths, opportunities, innovations, and learning. Now, as we end this great week and begin the aftercare of what we're doing as solutions for women, we have to remember that this does not end at 5 o'clock today. The needs of women, the desire for women to be helped, empowered, and strengthened in voice is ongoing and eternal. But what we want to do is begin to understand, how do we help? A lot of times you hear our parents just say, just do it. Or you hear the marketing ploy to have that as a center of just get it done. Some people say, let's go. Some people say, let it go. But what we need to do is at least begin. So let's begin with the beginning. Let's begin with understanding people's strengths and talents and identify innate abilities in everyone. Not everyone is great or gifted in everything. Not everyone can do everything. As we see in the delegate here from Belfast, everyone is doing something different in the same organization. But the common goal is to come to a solution to whatever it is that is of ailment. Likewise, we have to see that each of us coming together in a certain team brings a grand talent, innovation, and ability. We have to recognize that. We have to celebrate that, and we have to salute that in raising the voice of women especially. Number 2 is the opportunities for growth. This is huge because it identifies the competency of the performance of standards. This helps you to give a little more to the checks and balances. See what works, see what doesn't work, see what helps, see what doesn't help, see what has happened in the past that was great and what we see now as microwave or quick and hasty. We have to understand that whatever it is that we're doing with the greatest of our abilities and talents at that moment, but there is always room for improvement. Number 3 is the innovations and continuous improvement. This is identifying personal and communal places that we own. This is backing on number 2. This is also bringing in our personal adaptations. We come from different cultures, different backgrounds. We can all put a potato in a pot, but everybody will have a different recipe as to how they serve it. But we all understand that that potato in that pot, served in many different ways, will still feed many people. So we have to look at what it is that we're giving, regardless of how it is seen or viewed or understood. It is still the ability to feed, and that's what we have to focus on. Stop looking at how you do it and how we used to do it, or even how our grandmother did it. We have to look at the fact that we're still feeding, and people are being fed by what it is that we're offering. So we always have to make sure that it's spiritually, physically, and mentally nutritious as we give it. And the last one is learning and development. This is to identify future learning opportunities. As we mentioned, we come with all gifts and talents, different abilities, and many ways to do it. But understand that somebody is going to be watching what we do. And if we're talking about young women, they're going to come behind us and they're going to learn by our example, and they're going to lead by our efforts. How many times as parents, and I'm one of 6 girls, how many times have you said, do something because I said so? And how many times have they done what you do? So they don't always listen to what you say. They do watch what you do. Many of us lead by example, and some of us just offer great conversation. But whatever it is that we do, we have to understand that there are people that are going to be watching us. So whether we comb our hair in the morning or we wear a traditional wrap, we're understanding that how we adorn ourselves physically, how we speak intellectually, and how we adorn ourselves with what we offer in this world will teach someone something, even if it's what not to do. I thank you so very much for what it is that you give today, and I thank you for listening.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions for Dr. Alley?
Oh, I wasn't supposed to sit down.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. We're always told in the UN to just speak and sit down. Any questions?
Any questions?
I'm sorry. No? Okay, thank
I
you.
don't have a question.
Oh,
just
sorry.
comments. That for me so far, this has been my best experience because for me it doesn't matter what conflicts, what issues we all have. The message is be the best that you can and be the best that you can for somebody else because you can bring out the best that you can. And Denzel Washington once said, when you make it to the top, don't be content. Reach out and grab somebody.
And we had another.
Yes.
I just wanted to know how your experience as a veteran, how that's impacted on your life.
Actually, it allowed me to, sorry, I don't know if this,
Yes, it is.
here, my voice is louder. Oh, thank you. It allowed me to understand what it was that I was called to do. First of all, it allowed me to understand what not to do to other people that I don't know. So I took away from that experience the ability to understand what I was called to do, but leadership entitles fellowship. So if you're an effective leader, you have to understand where you're leading your troops. And even though you're called to do a duty, there's a moral attrition that falls into that. And what I mean by that is, I'm not unpatriotic. I am more for the human, though. And the human deserves rights, regardless of what side of the field that you say that you're on. And if I know you have not done me wrong, there is a moral injury that happens when I have to inflict harm on you because I was told to. So you have to see humanity as the whole. If you don't want that done to you, as is written in all of the biblical texts and the religious texts, then you cannot do it to someone else. When I left, the moral attrition was my PTSD. Knowing that I did something to someone that did no harm to me. Knowing that I was led by that example, and I was fed the belief that I had to harm someone or harm an individual in some way, when all I wanted to do was study medicine. And that's what I went into the military for them to pay for medical school. I hate to say that.
The collective, on behalf of the group, and I know collectively, we want to thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And Monica told me that we have a short time here, so I will call the next speaker up, Saran Kamara. I hope I'm saying it right. Yes. I hope I'm doing justice to your name. Kamara. Okay, she is recognized for her work in internal audit and philanthropy. She possesses over 15 years of diverse external audit experience, including information technology. She has a passion for helping children in need, and she provides financial aid to children in Africa who have life-threatening illnesses and supports them financially to get high-quality treatment. She also provides educational material to children in need, and because of her passion for helping children, she is involved in African organizations with similar goals. She migrated to the United States not knowing a word of English, but she was able to learn English, graduate from college, obtain her MBA and CPA while raising 3 children. And now I'd like to introduce you to Saran. I'm not going to mess up your last name. Yes.
The first name is one that most people have a problem with.
And I get that.
Well,
exactly.
So thank you very much for the introduction. And I have to say I'm honored, and it's a privilege for me to be here today. So this is not something that you do all the time. And being recognized is very, very important. But I have to say that I'm here as a regular person. And the fact that we honor women today will give me a chance to give my story, to speak about how I got here. And one thing that is important is teaching a girl with education. And also ingraining that into her brain. Because that girl will have a significant impact on her future generation. That is, even if she did not finish school. So I want to give a story which will be the one of my mother. You see, my mother got married very young. She has an opportunity to be in school, but she got married after 7th grade. And she was taught, she did what a typical woman was taught to do in the Ivory Coast. She had 12 children, but her focus were her children. You see, my father was an accountant also, but he was absent most of the time. He did provide us with education, and he took care of his family. He fed us, but he was not involved in our education. My mother every day will make sure that we know that education is it before anything else. When you come to my house, you will see a blackboard and a whip. We all know what is a whip for. Yes, and she want to make sure that whatever she did not accomplish, we had accomplished it. She had 7 daughters and 5 boys. And I have to tell you, even when we do chores, when we clean the house, we have to be reciting our lesson. We have to be reciting our multiplication facts. You see, she did not have too many friends because of the way she was brutally taken from her schooling and put into marriage. So she has fulfillment to do. She has to fulfill the marital status, the marital needs, and also take over 12 children. But think to her today, all her children will be able to accomplish higher education. And I'm sure that